like so many.
It's pretty much every violation in the book, and what's very interesting, just in terms of appropriate management of personally identifiable information. And one of the other concerns that we have is that that information tells how long Johnny was in the bathroom. You know, if Johnny has to make 6 trips to the bathroom today, is that anybody's business? And I think even more critically, if Johnny goes in to talk to the school counselor, maybe about a domestic violence situation, maybe about an interpersonal problem, is that really something that should be recorded in those databases when, you know, anyway.
Yeah, there's a question of, we thought that this information was being contained some way, somehow within Northside ISD. Now does SAPD also have access to information? We would ask Northside, they are not here. Were your questions answered?
I have one for Dr. Pressley.
Yes.
Being a stroke victim, I had 2 major strokes and 3 TIAs. My doctor told me, and after hearing you talk about all those things, he said my regular telephone that I used to talk in could trigger another stroke. And I have noticed that when I pick up the phone, because I have a little problem with the speech for the strokes, and when somebody at the other side is giving me a hard time, I start to shake, and I can feel like heat in my ear. So I put the phone up here that they can't hear me. They get irritated, I get irritated, and I have to go lay down because I'm going into a mini stroke. Now, does that have to do with the WADs or the micro WADs that you were talking about?
That's the power density hitting your ear, and you're heating up, and you're sensitive to it. Not everybody is. Not everybody uses their cell phone and has their ear hurt. I do. You do. There are many of us that do, and it depends on the kind of phone. The little cheap flip phones, if I had mine, I'd show you because mine's real cheap.
The Obama
Those
phone?
are better. Those are better. Yes! You're so funny. You're so funny. You must watch Alex Jones. Yeah. Just a guess. Just a guess. But I want to tell everybody, the iPhones are the absolute worst in radiation. Blackberries are down from that, and then your flip phones, your really cheap flip phones, way low power density.
Now, if people use a headset, will that help if they keep the phone down here and the headset
Depends
up
if
here?
it's wire, if it's an actual wire versus a like a stethoscope sound, it's less radiation, but you are still getting because of the conductance of the metal wire. So those are the, you know, everybody here, I know a lot of people have iPhones, they are the absolute worst. And in the newest models, you can't even take the battery out. They won't even let you take the battery out. My daughter has to wrap it in aluminum foil when she comes to my house to go to sleep, okay, because I'm not having it. But you're right.
I would like the young man who's sitting over there to tell us how he worked his little chip. I think he's got some good information. If I could get him
incriminate themselves.
Thank you.
Okay. All right. You're going to meet a student, a current Northside student? Yep.
Yeah, science engineering.
Science and engineering. So if you'll pull that microphone up to your mouth and tell us, this is interesting. Go ahead, sir.
And just real quick before you start, it should be noted that this young man came to the Northside Independent School District Board meeting and was turned away by our elected representatives from commenting on this program that he's being subjected to. So this is his first opportunity to speak publicly about the program that he's having to deal with.
Okay, well, they never. Well, when I first decided to go to Science and Engineering Academy last year, they never told us anything about doing these smart IDs, and I think that was that they didn't want to drive off potential students that would possibly go there. And well, she asked a question about what I did to my badge to stop the frequency from coming from it. So that's one thing I noticed when I first started wearing it. Within a few weeks of school, I only wore it for a few days, because I noticed when I had it around my neck, my chest would start to hurt. I get headaches.
Exactly.
My side would hurt. If I sit next to someone who's wearing one of those badges, my side will start to hurt. Okay. And And basically what I did is I used to have it wrapped up in a bunch of aluminum foil, and I just decided I'm not going to take it anymore.
Yeah.
So just jammed a screwdriver under the cover, pulled it up, looked in there, and there's a number written in there in Sharpie underneath it. And there's another plate in there, another plastic plate, and there's like a sticky waterproof glue in there. And so what I had to do is take a Dremel and go around the inside with the Dremel and pull the inner cover out, and there's the chip. It's a little tiny circuit board in there, a bunch of little diodes and stuff attached to it, 2 watch batteries. I pretty much just smashed it into a fine powder and threw it away.
I have a question for you, if that's appropriate. So Northside Independent School District would have us all believe that there is no resistance to this program other than the Hernandez family and their friends. And they have some good friends here, I see today. What are you seeing in the school from your classmates, you know, with how they feel about this program, and why aren't they all throwing it away?
Well, lots of kids just say, oh, I really don't care about it. Oh, it gets the school more money. I don't really care about it. I'll just wear it anyways. They don't know the health effects of it. And there are some kids, like some of my close friends, like one of my friends, like partially peeled the cover off his badge, and there's like a little hole in there that you can use to access the circuit board. He took it and he threw it in a pot of water. Left it there overnight.
What's the name of your school?
The John Jay Science and Engineering Academy.
You really think it's a good idea to give Science and Engineering Academy kids?
Yeah, and my friend, one of my friends, his badge, he showed me, he uses this to buy lunch every day. I bring my own lunch, so now I never bring my ID anyways, but my friend who brings his badge every day and uses it to buy lunch, his looks a little messed up on the front side, but when you flip it over on the back, the entire back side is completely missing, and you can see the spot where the chip used to be. He just went crazy on it with a knife.
And what about penalties? Has he gotten in trouble? Have you gotten in trouble?
Well, one time, I got called down to the vice principal's office during my Spanish class, and the vice principal said to me, he just said, "Why aren't you wearing your ID badge, sir?" And I just said, "Oh, I think I might have left it at home or something, just playing stupid. That's how I get around these things." It works too. And so he just said, "Okay, well, you need to start wearing your ID badge," and so I went back to class. Still never wore it.
And can I ask you, on behalf of the crowd here, what is your reason for not wanting to wear this badge? It is the health effects? Or?
Health effects and invasion of privacy.
Thank you very much. Thank you. And we're gonna. I know it's getting dark and we're running late here, but we do have. I know in just a moment we're gonna talk to Mr. Hernandez, Steve Hernandez. I have your lawsuit right here. I looked over it. Father of Andrea. But if we could, panel, run through these 2 questions real quickly. And for the guys in the back, I'm getting this question out. But first out here, what is your reason for not wanting to wear this badge? It is the health effects? Or?
Health effects and invasion of privacy.
Thank you very much. Thank you. And we're gonna. I know it's getting dark and we're running late here, but we do have. I know in just a moment we're gonna talk to Mr. Hernandez, Steve Hernandez. I have your lawsuit right here. I looked over it. Father of Andrea. But if we could, panel, run through these 2 questions real quickly. And for the guys in the back, I'm getting this question out. But first off, this is for Heather and possibly also Matt with ACLU. Heather, Austin is using GPS, Global Positioning System Tracking, devices on students labeled as excessively tardy and or absent. Will legislation cover that as well, or will it just cover RFID? That's from Katie.
That is a good question. I think the bill is pretty specific to radio frequency technology. But we could propose an amendment during the committee and to get it broadened to do that. And just real quickly, so that you know, this issue here in San Antonio became kind of a priority over that one because technically that program is voluntary. These parents are signing their kids up for this GPS tracking program because their children are truant. So it flew in and out of my mind because it's voluntary. I'm not going to put my energy into parents that want to sign their kids up. It's unfortunate, but there are people here that want to fight back that can use our help. So it's become a priority. Well, since then, I've briefly looked at the letter sent to parents, after which parents opt into this. And they're calling it voluntary, but they're basically threatening these parents. They start the letter out saying all the days that the child has been missed, the penalties that can be incurred, the jail time, the fines, all of that. And then they present this beautiful new solution. We think that you'll agree that the GPS tracking device on your kid is going to be a better solution for everyone. And so they're really threatening and coercing these parents because they don't have the time to go to court. They don't have time or money to be going to jail or getting these fines. And so they're opting their children into this program. And I think it's disgusting that we have government coercing these parents in this manner, and that people just aren't educated enough about the issue of these kinds of tactics, bully tactics, that our local government schools are pushing on us. To stand up for themselves, and that's why it's important. Again, I cannot reiterate enough how important it is for the community to come together to help us stand up for ourselves and to be there for the people who are standing up for themselves in the face of a school board who seems to have all the power.
Sorry, Andrea?
I just wanted to butt in. First and foremost, it is the community who is out there, and the ground fighters. We Are Change has been a part of this since the beginning, along with Katherine and Heather and my family especially. We have all been out there. You can contact any one of us, and we'll be more than willing to help you as long as you want to fight for what you feel is the right thing to fight for.